by place, followed by time, and then event or situation. Then we assess reaction to verbal stimuli and ability to move extremities. Your Glasgow Coma Scale, which we will be reviewing in a while. Vital signs. Alam nyo naman ang vital signs, guys. Pulse, respirations, BP, and oxygenation. But, ang i-commit into memory yung rule of 4 na tinatawag. That's why there's a big 4 here. So, every 15 minutes for the first hour niya sa PACU. So, pag every 15 minutes yan for 1 hour, ilang beses kang nag-assess? 4 times. Kaya siya rule of 4. And then every 30 minutes for the next 2 hours. O every 30 minutes for 2 hours, ilang beses na naman yun? 4. And then every 4 hours for 24 hours. Yan. 6 na beses, sir. Okay. 6 na beses. Pero andyan pa rin yung 4 hours, guys. So, rule of 4 pa din. Okay? And then look for signs of circulatory issues such as hypotension, hemorrhage, or shock. So, look for hypotachy-tachy. Hypotension, tachycardia, tachypnea, guys. Magagamit nyo talaga to. So, please na ha, ako na nagpi-play sa inyo, tandaan yan. Pag nakita nyong low BP, high RR, high PRI, suspect shock. And then look at your skin color and temperatures, examine lips and nail beds. For tissue perfusion, sabi natin your lips, malipis kasi ang balat dyan, so they have higher vascular visibility. Kaya pag kulang ka sa dugo, makita mo agad na pale. Or kung deoxygenated ang blood, makita mo agad cyanotic. Okay? So, sabi natin, we review your Glasgow Coma Scale. Check mo yung eye response, best verbal response, best motor response. E4, V5, M6. The best response would be 15. Okay. By the way, review na lang tayo, guys, ha? Kasi para ma-cover natin lahat. Okay? Kasi meron pa tayong ratio later. So, E4, V5, M6. The total score would be 15. That's the best response. What is considered comatose or requiring intubation? O pag tinanong doon, anong score ang mag-require ng intubation? 8 or less. So, pag 8 pababa na yan, okay? Candidate na po sila for intubation. And the lowest possible score for GCS would be 3. Okay? GCS ha? Pag GCS po, 3. Kasi E1, V1, M1. Okay? Tignan nyo kasi dito, no response. Pare-pare silang 1. So, the lowest possible score would be 3. However, in the newer version ng GCS, kasama na po ang pupil reactivity score. Ayan o, kita nyo dito guys, GCS minus P. GCSP. So in 2018, a team of experts, including one of the original creators of the GCS, published an updated version of the GCS called the GCSP. The P there stands for pupil, as in the pupil of the eye. So this is the 4th number that providers subtract from the standard GCS score. So we look into which pupil po ang unreactive to light. Ulitin ko, unreactive to light. Kasi ima-minus mo later sa GCS yan. So, if both pupils are unreactive, ilagay mo dyan 2. Kunwari, yung pen light. Okay, balikan na naman natin yung pen light, guys. O, sinayin mo yun sa pupil ng clients mo. You expect mag-constrict. O, pag hindi siya nag-react, o, ibilang mo na yung pupil na yun. So, pag both pupils unreactive, 2. One pupil, 1. Neither pupil, 0. Now, guys, isasubtract kasi yan. So, since isa-subtract mo, ang lowest possible score sa GCS ay 3, and then the highest possible score sa pupil is 2, o paano kung 3 ang score niya sa GCS, tapos sa P2 ang score niya? O 3 minus 2, 1 na po ngayon ang lowest possible score pag ang pinag-uusapan, GCS P. Nakuha, nurses? Pag GCS ang tinatanong, lowest possible score, 3. Pero pag nilagay doon, GCSP ang tinatanong, 1 na po ang lowest possible score. Paano ma-achieve yung 1? O kapag ang GCS mo 3, tapos yung P mo 2. So, 3 minus 2, 1. Malinaw? Let's move po to the next slide. Okay? So, ito for our visual learners. I like to put kasi mga ganito, guys, pag nagle-lecture ako, no? Kasi I myself, am a visual learner. I like to learn pag may mga pictures, may mga colors, na ganon. Nabobore ako if plainly text siya. So, there are Classifications dito ng neurological concern according to severity. Pag severe, 3 to 8. O yan, sabi nga natin, mga candidates for intubation. Moderate neurological concerns, 9 to 12. Mild would be 13 to 14. So, memorize nyo na lang yun. 13 to 14 mild, 9 to 12 moderate, severe, 3 to 8. Sabi dito, a GCS score of 8 or less indicates the client may be unable to protect the airway and will need support. Okay? And mind you guys, hindi na ini-encourage yung to pain ngayon. Okay? Yung responsive to pain, ganun sila. Ang ginagamit ng word ay pressure. Kasi our goal is not to induce pain. Gusto lang natin ma-elicit naman kung any response from them. So we are making use of pressure and not pain. Okay? So pressure na po yung ginagamit na term. And this is how decorticate looks like. Dito naman po ang decerebrate. Now, in the board exam, po pwede kasi guys na hindi sasabihin doon decorticate or decerebrate. Ang lumalabas, the anatomical terminologies. Itong mga nandito sa right. O nilagay ko na po sila dyan. Mga possible terms na gamitin pag dinedescribe ang decorticate or decerebrate. So when we say decorticate, thumb stuck under flex fingers in fisted position. Okay, so ayan po, naka-fish siya. Pronation of forearm. Okay, so baliktarin nyo yung forearm nyo. Kasi kung when you're looking at your palms, ibig sabihin, supinated siya. Pero pag pronated yan, nakabaliktad yung palms ninyo. Okay? So, such as in this case, notice yung palms niya nakatapat na doon sa chest. So, that's pronation of forearm. Flexion at elbow, ayan. Lower extremity and extension, straight lang naman po. That's something in common with decorticate and decerebrate. Your lower extremities are extended. But, look at this one, guys. Foot inversion. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng foot inversion? Wait, ang hirap i-zoom. When we say foot inversion, the soles of your feet are facing inward. Ayan, no? If you're keen to details, pansinin nyo, yung soles ng paa niya, naka-face inward. That's decorticate. Decorticate na position. And then, the other one is decerebrate. O M2 na yan. M2, decerebrate. Upper extremity impronation and extension. So, look at this one. And lower extremity and extension. Mas madali siya actually i-memorize. Kasi ito lang yung nangyayari. Mas maraming nangyayari sa decorticate. And may I also present this kasi some students find it difficult na i-differentiate ito. Itong M5 at saka M4. M5, localizing pressure. M4, withdrawal from pressure. So we see, ito po ang M5. Your client is attempting na i-remove yung source ng pressure or pain. Tanggalin niya talaga. And you see, ang M4 naman, flexion, withdrawal to pain. So parang iniiwasan niya lang. Okay? Lumalayo siya dun sa source ng pressure or pain. So, wag malilito, M5, tatanggalin niya talaga. M4, iniiwasan niya lang or lumalayo siya. And then, older descriptions of the GCS use the word pain to describe. Sinabi ko na po ito kanina, newer guidelines change that to pressure. The word change is more accurate because it doesn't involve an injury. Stimulation sites would include your nail beds, or whether sa fingertips mo or sa, ano yan guys, sa nails mo sa sa kamay or your toenails. Tama ba yung toenails? Sa sa baba, no? So pwede po doon either. And then trapezius pinch, trapezius pinch, so between your nape and the shoulder blades. Doon po ang location nun. And supraorbital notch sa may taas ng mata nyo, guys. Notice, nawala yung, anong nawala dyan? Sternal rub. Kasi masakit yun, guys. Okay? But in practice, we still see that. Pero dito sa guidelines, ayun, nawawala na siya. Sternal rub. And then in practice, you may see this chart. I presented this to my students lang para alam nila later itsura. No? So, GCS, tapos yung sa pupil size. O, try to answer this question. What's your answer, guys? Wait lang ha. May napindot ako sa phone. O, pare-parehas silang C. O, let's find out. Okay, good. E3, V3, M4, kasi sabi doon, he opens his eyes to verbal command. So, that's E3. Speaks inappropriate words. That's V3. Withdraws to painful stimuli. That's M4. So, adding them, kaya 3 plus 3 plus 4, 10 po ang GCS score ng client nyo. How about this one? May nabili akong drink sa labas, guys. Ang sarap. May new discovery tayo tonight. It's a strawberry drink. Sa orange store. Orange store ba yun? Or yellow? That begins with an N. In front of the school. So anong score? GCSP yung tinatanong dito, guys, ha? Hindi GCS. Okay, so I've seen may mga sumagot naman na. Check natin kung tama kayo, guys. Okay, 4 pa din. Sabi doon, right pupil is dilated and unresponsive to light. So, ilista mo na, P1. O, itabi mo muna yung P1 na yan. Balik ka sa GCS. Does not open his eyes to any stimuli. So, E1 po yon. Verbal response is incomprehensible, meaning pwedeng nagmo-moan yung client mo or makes grunting sounds. V2, exhibits decerebrate posturing. That's also M2. Now, you try to add muna yung sa GCS. So, E1, V2, M2, ang GCS score niya is 5. But the question was asking for GCS P. So, you minus yung P score niya from the GCS. 5 minus 1 to make it 4. Very good mga nurses natin na ano kayo, mga nurses na masisikip. Sige. Immediate pause, anesthetic phase, comfort. So, we have evaluate pain, location, intensity, and rating. Very important yan, guys, para malaman natin if need na adjustment sa dose later ang physician. Look for objective signs of pain, pallor, perspiration, muscle tension, reluctance to move or cough. Guys, may I emphasize po, o ngayon tanongin ko kayo, is pain subjective or objective? Sige. Is pain subjective or objective? Or are we all sure na it's subjective? How about pag ang tinanong, pain scale? Paano pag ang tinanong, pain scale? Subjective or objective? Okay, dito na. Magkakatalo na, guys. Kakaiba na sila ng sagot. Paano pag pain scale? Is it subjective or objective? O, may sumagot din. Both actually. Subjective for patient, objective for nurse, sabi. Okay, guys. Pain in itself is subjective. Why? There's no way for us to measure someone else's pain. Sila lang ang makakapagsabi if the pain exists and how severe that pain is. Wala tayong equipment like BP cuff or sphygmomanometer to measure BP o kung to measure pain. Wala tayong ganun for pain. Kahit pa maglagay ka ng mga ECG leads dyan. Although, changes in vital signs can indicate in pain ang client mo, but there's no equipment that could accurately tell you, okay, 98 ang pain ng client mo or 9 out of 10. Diba? We are not measuring talaga directly. Sir, pain scale, naka-number yan, 1 to 10. Or pwedeng 0 to 10 if non-existing ang pain. O sabihin natin 1 to 10. 1 as the least painful, 10 as the most painful. And your client would say 10. out of 10. O number po yun. Bakit sabi nyo subjective pa din in number? Balikan. Hindi natin yun binilang. Hindi natin yun mineasure. Sinong nagsabing 10 siya? The client. Yung 10 na yun ay perception pa rin ng client ninyo. Kahit numerical siya in nature. We simply assigned those numbers. We did not measure. We did not count. Ang height, we can measure. Nabibilang. Tama? Ang weight, we can measure. Kasi meron tayong equipment doon. Pero ang pain, kahit pa numerical in nature yan, we simply assign those numbers. Paano kung ginawa ko ang scale 1 to 5 lang? O mag-iiba na yung sagot ng client mo. Paano ang scale ko 1 to 10, 1 to 20, 1 to 100? Mag-iiba yung sasabihin ng client mo. At the end of the day, it still came from your client. Although there are observable signs of pain, like yung mga guarding behavior, facial grimace, o changes in vital signs, o mga ganun. But pain in itself, guys, is subjective. Okay? Ito pa ang another argument on that. Let's say student A and student B, or patient A and patient B, I asked them to rate their pain. 1 to 10 pareho. And then, both of them answered 8. Sabi nila, 8 out of 10. O pareho silang 8 out of 10. O sige nga, kayo ba guys? Masisiguro ba natin na yung 8 out of 10 nila ay parehas? I mean, yung intensity nun? O parang paggawa lang yan ng NCP. Hindi porke may same disease or condition ang client niyo that you would apply the same care plan sa kanilang dalawa. Okay? Oh yes, kasi nga yung 8 is highly dependent sa perception ng client ninyo. Pwedeng yung 8 nung isa, 7 pa lang nung isa or 6 pa lang nung isa. Right? So, nagdidepende sa perception ng client nyo. The same thing applies sa research. Your Likert scale. O yung Likert scale ninyo. Remember? Yung 1 poor, 2 fair, 3, ano na yung 3 doon na madalas ginagamit nila. And then 4 is good or very good, 5 excellent, mga ganon. You see, you assign those numbers and you are letting the respondents select hanggang saan yung degree ng pag-agree nila dun sa statement mo. So it's highly subjective. Okay? So, pain is subjective, guys. Fluid balance, assess the type and amount of IV fluids. Dressing, so we look for excessive bloody drainage. What is considered excessive pag greater than 500 ml. And we always record the amount of drainage. Siyempre, mga color din yan. And in the exam, ito yung mga green flags or meaning, mga normal findings. Serous or serosanguinous. Pag nakita nyo na yung mga sanguinous or purulent, ay red flag po yan. Sanguinous, ibig sabihin yan, there's active bleeding. It's bright red in color. And purulent, from the word pus. So may nana, it indicates infection. So red flag ang mga yan, guys. Ha? Drains and tubes, so we check color, consistency, and amount of drainage. Ensure that tubes are patent and suction equipment is working. Drainage bags should be properly positioned, always lower than yung surgical site. Sabi ko rin sa students ko to. So as not to reintroduce the fluids. You are raising the risk for infection and sepsis, guys, kapag pinosisyon nyo to higher than the surgical site. Kasi binabalik mo lang, o what for, na drain ang tawag dyan kung ibabalik mo dun sa katawan ng client mo. And then clients are usually discharged from the PACU when, these are general criteria, mamaya may mas specific tayo. But generally, pwede nang i-discharge from the PACU back to the surgical unit if the following conditions are met. They are conscious and oriented based on your GCS score. They're able to maintain a clear airway and deep breathe and cough freely. Vital signs have been stable or consistent with preoperative vital signs for at least 30 minutes. Protective reflexes like your gag and swallowing are active. They are able to move all extremities. So all the 4 extremities, ha? Hindi lang dalawang kamay, hindi lang dalawang paa. All the 4. Intake and urinary output are adequate. So how can we say na adequate yan? For adult clients, 0.5 ml per kilogram per hour ang output nila. Again, 0.5 ml per kilogram per hour. At least, ha? So that can exceed pa yung value na yan. And they are afebrile, meaning walang fever, or should they have fever, sabi dyan, a febrile condition has been attended to. So it's being managed. And then dressings are dry and intact. There is no overt drainage. And then we have the modified Aldrich score. It's part of our outline, so we discuss here. It's also known as post-anesthesia recovery score. The purpose is to help clinicians assess when patients are ready to be discharged from the post-anesthesia care unit after anesthesia. It was developed by George Antonio Aldrich in 1970. Sabi ko nga sa students ko, it's like APGAR kasi there are five dimensions there that we look into. Parang APGAR nga. So first is activity. We check into the ability of their clients to move voluntarily or on command. So kapag 4 extremities ang nagagalaw niya, meaning both your hands, both your feet, 2 ang score niyan. Pag 2 extremities lang, 1. Pag no, 0. Question ng students ko, Sir, paano kung 3? 3 extremities lang daw. Or paano kung 1 extremity lang, sir, ang nagagalaw? I consulted Doc GB on this, no, my former clinical instructor. Sabi niya, ano na siya, guys, let's all pray and manifest for him, no? Mag-MD this year. I think this year, if I'm not mistaken. Doc GB, if you're watching, correct me kung ngayon siya magte-take ng licensure exam for physicians. Now, as a general rule daw in medicine, if the criterion has not been met, you cannot give that as a score. So, parang ganwari, 3 extremities. 3 extremities. Eh, kung 3 yan, na-achieve mo ba yung 4? Hindi. So, you cannot give 2. Ang ibibigay mo lang 1. Okay? Eh, sir, paano kung 1 extremity lang po ang nagagalaw niya? Okay, sabi dyan, 2 extremities to get a grade of 1. Eh, kung 1 extremity lang nagagalaw mo, hindi mo pwedeng i-score ang 1 dyan. Okay? So, dito lang siya sa 0. And then, sa breathing, we give a score of 2 kapag the client is able to breathe deeply and cough freely. Pag green flag, yung pagkakadescribe sa scenario. And then once may presence ng red flag o dyspnea, difficulty of breathing, shallow or limited breathing, 1 na lang yan. And then 0 would be apnea pag hindi huminga at all yung client. And then consciousness, fully awake o perfect ang GCS scoring niya, 2. Okay? Arousable on calling o to voice o to verbal stimuli o ganun lang siya, 1. And then unresponsive, 0. And then sa circulation, mamaya discuss natin to. Under your circulation, we'll look into how close is the post-anesthetic level from the pre-anesthetic level. Again, titignan mo kung gaano kalapit. So kung mas malapit siya doon, the higher the score. If within 20% of pre-anesthesia level, sabi dyan, increase or decrease, 2 ang score. Okay? So, kung umangat siya or bumaba siya ng 20% of pre-anesthesia level, we assign 2. Pag between 20 to 49, 1. And then 50 and above, 0. So, bottom line is, habang lumalayo po yung blood pressure niya from the pre-anesthesia level, bumababa ang score. Mas gusto mo na magkadikit yung pre sa post. Siyempre, baseline. Dapat dun ka sa baseline mo. And then, your auto-sat. If it's greater than 92%, in room air, 2. Kapag 90% or above, auto requiring ha. So, once na meron ng oxygen delivery device ang client nyo, greater than 90%, 1. Less than 90%, auto requiring 0. So, dito wag po malilito. Paano, sir, pag sinabi sa situation, 95%. Pero naka-nasal cannula. O, 95% pero naka-nasal cannula. You cannot give a score of 2. Kasi ang 2, dapat room air. O, the moment na meron na siyang nasal cannula or other oxygen delivery devices, you can only give either 1 or 0. O, since 95% naman po yun, greater than or equal to 90, you assign 1. Okay, so paano i-compute? The other dimensions kasi, medyo self-explanatory sila. It is what it is. Kung ano na yung sinabi dyan, yun na yun. Ang medyo tricky is the circulation. So, siya yung i-explain natin. Now, for circulation, actually, there can be different ways. No? Sa mga mathematically inclined dyan, guys, there could be different ways. to check, no, yung scoring dyan sa circulation. If it went higher, if it went lower, pwedeng i-divide nyo, no? But in general, a universal rule na lang ang ipipresent ko since we are discussing virtually. It's hard to present techniques. So, ito tayo sa universal rule na lang tayo. Pwede nyong gamitin whether tumaas man yung BP niya or bumaba relative to the pre-anesthetic level. So, for circulation, number 1, determine the absolute difference between the pre-anesthetic and post-anesthetic BP. When we say absolute difference, i-minus mo sila and then disregard the sign. So, for example, what's the absolute difference between 5 and 3? That's 2. I-minus mo lang yung 5 and 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. Pero pag absolute difference ang sinasabi, you disregard the negative. So, kahit anong i-subtract nyo doon. Okay? And then, divide the absolute difference by the pre-anesthetic BP to determine the percent of change. So, the formula, absolute value of your pre minus your post-anesthetic BP and then divide by pre-anesthetic BP. Example, ang pre-anesthetic BP ng client mo, 120 over 80 millimeters of mercury. And then, went to, pag nasa PACU na siya, 110 over 70 millimeters of mercury. So, you obtain the absolute difference between 120 minus 110. So, that's 10 millimeters of mercury divided by 120 millimeters of mercury. Saan po kinuha yung 120? Doon po sa pre-anesthetic BP niya. So, that's 0.0833. Converting that decimal to percent, 8.33% decrease in systolic blood pressure. So, 8.33% is within 20%. So, score 2. Okay. Pero hinay-hinay lang kasi ang chinek mo pa lang dito, systolic blood pressure. Tingnan mo rin yung diastolic blood pressure. Kasi ideal setting tayo ha. Ideally, you check the systolic blood pressure and the diastolic blood pressure. So, comparing the pre and post diastolic blood pressure, 80 minus 70, 10 divided by 80, that would be 0.125 or 12.5% decrease in diastolic blood pressure. Still within 20%, so you assign a score of 2 po. Ganon siya guys ha. Sir, question, paano kung, sabi nyo kasi sir, titignan both systolic and diastolic, paano kung magkaiba mamaya? Yung score nito 2, yung score nito 1. O kunwari lang po ha, na 2 ito or 1. Or 1 ito, tas ito 0. Anong susundin? We do not want to sugarcoat things for our client. Kasi biglang mamaya nag-deteriorate yan. Ayaw mong i-downplay or pinapaganda ninyo yung sitwasyon. So kunwari, hindi nagtugma yan, yung isa 2, yung isa 1, ang i-record mo, yung 1. Okay, nakuha, yung worst na finding, yun ang i-document. We do not want to sugarcoat things. Kasi mamaya nag-deteriorate yung client mo, inilagay mo doon 2. Pala na-find out mo na 1 na pala yung isa sa components. So, you assign 1. The same thing is true with the different classifications ng hypertension, guys. Yung stage 1, stage 2, yung pre-hypertension. Kasi doon, may category yung systolic BP. May category din yung diastolic BP. Napansin nyo? Nakahiwalay. Di ba merong stage based sa systolic blood pressure, tapos meron ding stage yung diastolic. Has anyone seen it? I-memorize nyo yun ha. Commit to memory, lumabas nung May 2024 yun. Malay nyo. O tinanong doon yung hypertensive crisis. Anyway, so, sabi ko nga, same thing in the staging ng BP. O kunwari, yung isang component, systolic blood pressure, nasa stage 1 hypertension, tapos yung diastolic niya, stage 2 hypertension, your client ay stage 2 ang i-record doon kasi yun yung worst. Okay? O that's according to the Fundamentals of Nursing Practice na book. Cosure. Okay? So, try to answer this question. Determine the modified Aldrich score. Gusto ko mag-cornic guys, pero nako-conscious ako kasi maririnig nyo mamaya yung mga inunguya ko. Try to answer this question. Wala tayong options. Compute nyo na lang. Wow, ang bilis ni King Tin ah. Paano po naging 6? Sirit na, guys. Okay, anyway, may mga sumagot din, no? So, ito po siya. Activity moves only his left arm and left leg on command. So, 2 extremities lang ang nagagalaw niya. 1 ang score. Kasi take note, all extremities dapat. All the 4 limbs. O left arm, left leg, right leg, that magalaw niya yon para 2 ang score. Respiration, breathing is slightly shallow but unlabored. O may nakita ka ng red flag dyan. Shallow breathing. 1. Circulation, so from, sabi dyan, 120 to 80 naging 142. 140 over 90. So, i-try to compute that. Ilan yung naging increase niya? Within 20% po yun. So, 2. And then, consciousness, drowsy but arousable when cold. Sabi natin, drowsy but arousable when cold. Sabi natin, drowsy but arousable when cold. Sabi natin kanina, drowsy but arousable when cold. Sabi natin kanina, sabi natin, drowsy but arousable when cold. Sabi natin kanina, sabi natin, sabi natin, sabi natin, sabi natin, sabi natin, sabi natin, sabi natin,